Joseph, this chart is built around one central question. Can you turn value into discipline? On the surface, this is a Taurus ascendant chart with Venus in the first house. That gives charm, attraction, refinement, taste, self-worth, comfort, aesthetics, relationship intelligence, and a natural desire to build a stable life. But the deeper engine is not surface Venus. The real engine is house lord placement. Where each lord has gone shows where Joseph's karma is playing out. The chart is direct. Identity is tied to health and conflict, speech is tied to money and loss, partnership is tied to family and wealth, career is tied to public relationships, and home is tied to deep transformation. So this is not merely a chart of comfort. This is a chart of disciplined value building. The first lord Venus is in the first house. That gives Joseph a strong personal presence. He carries Venus directly in the body. Appearance, grace, social intelligence, aesthetic instinct, sensuality, and the desire to be valued. He may naturally attract attention, support, affection, or admiration without forcing it. But Venus is also the sixth lord. That changes everything. The same Venus that gives beauty also brings conflict, health routines, enemies, service, competition, correction, and daily discipline into the personality. So Joseph's body and identity become the battlefield of pleasure versus discipline. If he manages Venus well, he becomes polished, effective, diplomatic, attractive, and capable of solving problems with grace. He can succeed through finance, beauty, business, advisory work, negotiation, healing, relationship management, food, luxury, design, or refined service. But if Venus is unmanaged, comfort becomes weakness, pleasure becomes imbalance, laziness becomes disease, relationship desire becomes dependency. Food, sensuality, image, and approval seeking can start controlling the body and mind. The first rule of Joseph's chart is clear. Pleasure must be disciplined. He is not meant to reject comfort. He is meant to refine it. He is not meant to reject beauty. He is meant to use it intelligently. He is not meant to reject desire. He is meant to master it. Now the fourth lord sun is also in the first house. This brings home mother, property, emotional peace, education, family conditioning, and inner security directly into Joseph's identity. He does not simply come from a home environment. He carries it in his personality. His confidence is tied to emotional security. His self-image is tied to family roots. His pride is tied to stability, property, possessions, comfort, and visible achievement. Sun in Taurus makes the ego seek material dignity. It wants to be seen as stable, respectable, refined, and established. There can be pride in lifestyle, possessions, family name, home, food, clothing, artistic taste, or physical appearance. At its best, this gives strong self-worth, loyalty, creative identity, protection toward family, and the ability to build a beautiful life. At its lower expression, it creates stubbornness, image consciousness, attachment to possessions, emotional defensiveness, and difficulty accepting criticism. So the first house carries three strong themes: identity, pleasure, emotional security. Joseph's body, face, choices, confidence, and self-worth are all linked to how he manages Venus and Sun. If his inner peace is disturbed, his personality shows it. If his home life is unstable, his confidence shakes. If his self-worth is threatened, he may overcompensate through comfort, control, or image. This is why the first house needs attention. Joseph must build himself consciously. Now we move to the second house, one of the most dominant areas of this chart. The second house contains Moon and Mars. The second house rules speech, food, family, money, values, stored wealth, voice, and early conditioning. When Moon and Mars sit here, speech becomes emotionally charged and sharp. The third Lord Moon is in the second house. This means courage, effort, communication habits, skills, siblings, writing, and initiative flow into speech and wealth. Joseph's courage comes through words. He can speak, explain, defend, persuade, argue, teach, and negotiate. Moon in the second gives emotional speech. What he says is often connected to what he feels. When calm, the voice can be nurturing, engaging, and persuasive. When triggered, it can become reactive, defensive, moody, or inconsistent. Then Mars sits in the second house as Lord of the 7th and 12th. This is crucial. Mars as 7th Lord brings spouse, partners, clients, contracts, and public dealings into the second house. Mars as 12th Lord brings expenses, foreign lands, private desires, hidden life, bed pleasures, isolation, and losses into the second house. So Joseph's speech, family, food habits, values, and wealth are directly tied to relationships and expenses. This can give strong earning through clients, business, partnerships, communication, foreign links, or advisory work. But it can also create verbal conflict, family tension after marriage, financial pressure through relationships, and impulsive spending through desire. Mars in the second makes speech sharp. In Gemini, it becomes argumentative, analytical, quick, and sometimes cutting. Joseph may be mentally fast and verbally forceful. He can win debates. He can dissect ideas. He can defend his position. But if unconscious, he can wound with words. This is one of the clearest warnings in the chart. Joseph's mouth is karmic. Speech can build wealth or destroy trust. Speech can attract clients or create enemies. Speech can heal family or reopen wounds. Speech can strengthen marriage or damage it. Speech can create status or create regret. He cannot afford casual anger. He cannot afford gossip. He cannot afford impulsive statements during emotional heat. For Joseph, speech is not merely expression. Speech is consequence. Now comes the most important exchange in the chart. The second Lord Mercury is in the 12th house. The 12th Lord Mars is in the second house. This is a direct second 12th house exchange. The second house is money, family, speech, food, stored wealth, and values. The 12th house is loss, expense, foreign lands, sleep, bed pleasures, privacy, isolation, retreat, subconscious patterns, and spiritual release. When these two houses exchange, wealth and loss become linked. Speech and secrecy become linked. Family and distance become linked. Values and private desires become linked. This can produce foreign income, online work, private consulting, hidden knowledge, research, spiritual advisory work, writing, communication, work behind the scenes, or earnings through distant places. But it can also create money leakage through family, travel, relationship expenses, private habits, impulsive pleasures, hidden desires, poor boundaries, or speech mistakes. This exchange can be powerful, but only if managed. If Joseph uses Mercury well, he can monetize intelligence, communication, writing, analysis, consulting, business, technology, psychology, astrology, spiritual knowledge, or foreign networks. If Mercury is misused, the mind becomes scattered, secretive, overactive, escapist, and wasteful. The second Lord in the 12th says money can go into invisible places. The 12th Lord in the second says hidden desires can enter money and speech. This is why Joseph must track expenses, regulate pleasure, manage family boundaries, and use communication professionally. The rule is simple. Hidden intelligence can create wealth. Hidden indulgence can drain wealth. Now, the 5th Lord Mercury is also in the 12th house. The 5th house rules intelligence, creativity, romance, children, mantra, speculation, judgment, and past life merit. When the 5th Lord goes to the 12th, the creative mind becomes private, foreign, spiritual, isolated, imaginative, and research-oriented. Joseph may think best alone. He may create behind the scenes. He may be drawn to hidden subjects, spiritual systems, psychology, foreign knowledge, writing, private study, dreams, retreat, or deep research. This is a strong placement for hidden intelligence, but it can also create unfinished ideas. The 5th Lord in the 12th may keep creativity invisible. Joseph may have powerful concepts but delay execution. He may imagine, refine, rethink, and privately process without bringing the work into the world. That is the danger. The chart says, do not let your intelligence remain hidden. Write it, teach it, package it, publish it, use it, build something from it. Otherwise, the 5th Lord in the 12th becomes imagination without output. Now we examine the 4th house. Jupiter is in the 4th house. Jupiter rules the 8th and 11th houses. This means the 8th house of secrets, crisis, inheritance, occult, transformation, hidden psychology, sudden events, and deep vulnerability enters the 4th house of home, mother, property, inner peace, education, and emotional security. The 11th house of gains, networks, elder siblings, ambitions, audiences, and desire fulfillment also enters the 4th house. So Joseph's home life is not simple. The 8th Lord in the 4th can bring hidden family patterns, property complications, inheritance themes, emotional secrets, sudden domestic changes, psychological intensity, and deep ancestral karma. Peace may be interrupted until deeper truths are faced. But Jupiter also gives wisdom. This placement can make Joseph interested in psychology, astrology, occult knowledge, emotional healing, family lineage, property matters, counseling, teaching, or spiritual wisdom rooted in personal experience. The 11th Lord in the 4th gives gains through property, education, home-based work, family networks, emotional trust, community, teaching, advisory roles, or respected social circles. But because the same Jupiter owns the 8th, gains may come after crisis, transformation, inheritance, or deep emotional restructuring. This placement says, home is not just comfort, home is karma. Joseph cannot create inner peace by ignoring hidden emotional realities. He must understand the family system, mother-line patterns, property matters, and the psychology of security. If he avoids this, the 4th house remains disturbed. If he faces it, the same house becomes a source of wisdom and gains. Now we move to the 7th house. The 7th Lord Mars is in the 2nd house. This already tells us that marriage, partners, clients, contracts, and public dealings directly affect family, money, speech, and values. The wrong partner can disturb finances and family peace. The right partner can strengthen wealth, confidence, and continuity. Joseph may attract partners who are verbal, sharp, active, restless, technical, argumentative, entrepreneurial, or mentally quick. Relationship dynamics may involve strong conversations, financial decisions, value clashes, family involvement, and intense speech patterns. Because Mars also rules the 12th, marriage may involve expenses, foreign links, private life, distance, relocation, bed pleasures, or hidden sacrifice. So relationship cannot be chosen only by attraction. Joseph needs value compatibility, speech compatibility, financial maturity, emotional restraint, and long-term responsibility. Now, Saturn sits in the 7th house. This is one of the most important placements in the chart. Saturn rules the 9th and 10th houses for Taurus ascendant. That means Saturn carries fortune, dharma, father guru karma, higher wisdom, career, profession, status, authority, and public responsibility. And Saturn sits in the 7th house. This means Joseph's fortune and career rise through people. Spouse, clients, business partners, contracts, consulting, public dealings, legal agreements, professional alliances, the marketplace. This is not a chart where career grows only through private talent. It grows through public trust. But Saturn in the 7th also delays and tests relationships. Partnerships may feel serious, heavy, karmic, or responsibility-driven. Joseph may attract mature, intense, burdened, older, disciplined, controlling, or emotionally complex partners. Saturn is retrograde in Scorpio, so the lesson becomes deeper and more internal. Trust issues, commitment fears, delays, old relationship patterns, fear of judgment, or repeated partnership tests may arise. But Saturn as 9th and 10th Lord in the 7th can be very powerful if handled maturely. It gives career growth through serious alliances. It gives status through contracts. It gives fortune through partnership. It gives public respect through responsibility. It gives long-term success through discipline. The condition is maturity. If Joseph chooses weak alliances, life becomes heavy. If he chooses mature alliances, life becomes powerful. If he avoids responsibility, Saturn delays him. If he accepts responsibility, Saturn builds him. Saturn in Scorpio makes the career and partnership field intense. This is not light social networking. Scorpio brings secrecy, crisis, psychology, power dynamics, hidden motives, research, transformation, and high-stakes trust. This can support careers in consulting, management, drug research, finance, law, compliance, psychology, risk, insurance, security, crisis work, engineering, occult sciences, investigation, confidential advisory work, or serious client-based professions. But Saturn retrograde means recognition may come slowly. Joseph may feel he works hard before being properly valued. He may have to prove reliability repeatedly. He may face professional delays, partnership pressure, or public responsibility before status stabilizes. The message is clear. Career rises through disciplined partnership and public trust. Now the 9th Lord Saturn in the 7th adds another layer. Joseph's fortune comes through people. Teachers may appear through relationship. Dharma develops through partnership lessons. Clients, spouse, and public dealings become carriers of wisdom. But Saturn also makes faith practical. Joseph may not trust easy beliefs. His wisdom is built through experience, pressure, responsibility, and time. Father or guru karma may involve seriousness, distance, expectations, discipline, or delayed blessings. This is not soft luck. This is earned luck. Now the 10th Lord Saturn in the 7th defines career. Joseph is not meant to build career only in isolation. He needs contracts, clients, audience, public relevance, business alliances, or advisory structures. His professional life improves when he becomes reliable, strategic, patient, and emotionally controlled. Career success may be delayed, but durable. Saturn does not give quick fame here. It gives earned authority. Now, the 8th Lord Jupiter in the 4th must be read again from the angle of transformation. The 8th Lord shows where life forces deep change. For Joseph, deep change enters home, property, mother, emotional foundations, education, and inner peace. There can be hidden family issues, inheritance questions, emotional intensity, sudden home changes, or property-related complexity. But this also gives capacity for deep research, occult insight, psychological understanding, and emotional healing. Joseph may become wiser through private life challenges. He may learn to guide others because he has had to understand hidden emotional structures. The warning is direct. Do not suppress family truths. Do not avoid property clarity. Do not decorate over emotional pain. Do not pretend peace exists when the foundation is unresolved. The 11th Lord Jupiter in the 4th shows gains through home, knowledge, education, property, community, teaching, advisory work, and emotional credibility. But the 8th Lordship means gains may come after intense changes. So Joseph must choose networks carefully. Not all alliances are clean. Some opportunities carry hidden cost. Now the 12th Lord Mars in the 2nd completes the pattern. The 12th house represents losses, expenses, foreign lands, sleep, isolation, bed pleasures, hidden life, and spiritual release. Mars brings all of this into the 2nd house. This can create expenses through family, speech, food, travel, communication, devices, documents, partners, or private desires. It can also create income through foreign work, online communication, private consulting, research, technical skill, or hidden knowledge. But Mars is impulsive, so Joseph must avoid heated spending, heated speech, heated relationship decisions, and heated family reactions. Mars needs direction. If Mars has a goal, it builds. If Mars has no goal, it fights. Now the whole chart becomes clear. The 1st house says, build identity through discipline, value, beauty, and health. The 2nd house says, master speech, food, family patterns, money, and values. The 12th exchange says, manage expenses, private desires, foreign links, and hidden mental patterns. The 4th house says, transform home, property, emotional roots, and family karma. The 7th house says, partnership is destiny, not entertainment. The 9th and 10th lords in the 7th say, fortune and career rise through clients, contracts, spouse, public trust, and mature alliances. The 5th lord in the 12th says, bring hidden intelligence into visible form. The 6th lord in the 1st says, health, discipline, and daily routine are non-negotiable. So the dominant areas needing attention are precise. First, speech. Joseph must master his words. The 2nd house is too activated to ignore. Speech affects money, marriage, family, clients, and reputation. Emotional or angry speech will cost him. Disciplined speech will build him. Second, money and expenses. The 2nd 12th exchange can give wealth through foreign private intellectual work, but it can also create leakage. Joseph must track spending, regulate desire, and convert hidden knowledge into structured income. Third, relationships. The 7th Lord in the 2nd and Saturn in the 7th make partnerships central. The wrong relationship affects money and family. The right relationship strengthens career, fortune, and public status. Fourth, health and routine. The 6th Lord in the 1st says the body responds directly to lifestyle. Food, pleasure, sleep, sensuality, and daily discipline must be managed. 5th, home and emotional foundation. The 8th Lord in the 4th says peace requires transformation. Family karma, property matters, emotional history, and motherline patterns must be understood clearly. Final verdict. Joseph is born with value, but value alone is not enough. Venus gives attraction, but Saturn demands maturity. Moon gives emotional speech, but Mars makes it sharp. Mercury gives hidden intelligence, but the 12th house can hide it. Jupiter gives wisdom, but through emotional transformation. Saturn gives career and fortune, but only through serious public responsibility. If unconscious, this chart becomes indulgence, verbal conflict, money leakage, relationship heaviness, emotional unrest, and delayed career satisfaction. If conscious, it becomes magnetism, disciplined wealth, powerful speech, mature partnership, public authority, deep wisdom, and refined success. Joseph's chart is asking him to do one thing: turn comfort into discipline, speech into wealth, partnership into destiny, and hidden intelligence into visible contribution. This is why House Lord analysis matters. It shows where life is really moving. It shows why money connects to loss, why relationship connects to career, why home connects to transformation, why speech carries karma, and why pleasure must become disciplined. If this reading speaks to your own life pattern, do not treat your chart as entertainment. Your chart is a diagnostic map. It shows the repeating loops, the pressure points, the gifts, and the consequences. For a personal Vedic astrology reading that works for you, one that studies your house lords, exchanges, placements, relationship karma, career direction, wealth patterns, and dominant life lessons, get in touch with me. Like, share, subscribe, and if this stirred something real in you, pay attention, because sometimes the chart does not confuse you. It clarifies exactly where your life is asking you to grow.